How's everyone doing? Welcome to Wellness for Wealth TV, Life Strategies with Nat, episode 54. We're talking about how to create romantic relationships. How to create a healthy romantic relationship, I should say. I'm your host here every week, Natalia Edelman, aka Nat, life strategist, wellness coach, and founder of the Wellness for Wealth Academy. So, I know you're here because you're an entrepreneurial woman. I'm an entrepreneurial woman. I help entrepreneurial women every day. And, since I get to do this, I'm very in tune with the struggles that you guys are facing in your business and in your life because it's really all connected. It's what sets me apart because I did come from a corporate background. I have my MBA, I have my CPA, I am a wellness coach, and I've also built a lot of businesses, multiple line businesses. So I know exactly the struggles that you guys are facing. So why am I talking about how to create a healthy romantic relationship? In my life and in my practice, I use and adopt Wellness 360 philosophy. And essentially, relationships are one of those key life elements. And it's about using a holistic approach so that you can make the life that you say you want a reality. So it's February. I'm focusing on relationships this month. And it's Valentine's Day on Friday. So I thought it's kind of a good time to bring in this topic. So often, I've struggled with, so often, and I've struggled with this too, but so often, we are in a professional career, we decide to start a business, we, invest and put in our heart and soul into it. And then we find ourselves in a place where we're stressed, we're anxious, we're overwhelmed, and then we get burnt out. And those are, the three kind of stages of burnout: stress, overwhelm, and then burnout, where you're totally fatigued. You just want to throw in the towel and you're like, what have I done? And, you can start to feel resentful, but I'll tell you what happens. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes so I don't forget anything, but you start to think, well, I'm working more, I wanted to work less, I wanted time freedom, I wanted financial freedom, what's going on? So what happens is there's two things that happen. The first is that we stop taking care of ourselves. We've just, chucked out all these kinds of habits out the window. We stop eating well, we stop exercising, we stopped having enough water, we stopped, hanging out with friends, we just work all through. And the other thing that happens is that we get moody and we get snippy towards the people that we love, especially our partners. Or your siblings or your kids or your parents, but our loved ones and our partners for sure take a lot of the brunt of it if you are in a relationship. So that's why I'm talking about this. That's why it's so important, because relationships are really the center of your universe. You cannot avoid relationships. From the time you're born, you have your parents, like I said, you may have siblings, you have neighbors, you have kids at school that you grew up with, you have, the store you have to go and buy, whatever else, you have your financial advisor who's helping you with your finances, you have your your whole wellness team, from your doctor to your yoga instructor. Relationships are a big part of your life, and they contribute a big part into your overall well-being and your wealth in all areas of your life, because it is all connected. So, I'm not a relationship coach, but as a wellness coach, I do understand the importance of relationships from a holistic point of view when you are trying to create a life and a business that you're absolutely in love with. So we all know that couple, right? That couple that is just perfect. They seem just perfect. Like no matter what they go through, they, get through anything and they love each other no matter what. And that is a healthy romantic relationship. And then there's the other relationship, right? Like it's the kind of romantic relationship that's volatile, that is, unstable, and it's just plain, drive you crazy kind of stuff. I definitely know, because I've definitely been in that kind of relationship. And if you know me very well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When it comes to your own life, you want to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to say that you want to be in the first kind of relationship, right? You want, if your goal is to live a healthy life and to live a fulfilled life and one that has, great amounts of wealth, relationships matter. You want to be in a loving, healthy relationship. They can make or break your business. They can cause calm or chaos, and challenge you mentally and physically if you're not careful. So all relationships have this potential, but romantic relationships have it even more so. So that's where I want to spend some time. And if you're watching, just, say hello, or if you're watching on replay, give me a #replay so that I can say hello. But we're talking about how to create a healthy romantic relationship and why it's important to your wellness and generating incredible wealth in your life. So most people would like a partner, like a life partner, where they can share their everyday, they're their best friend, and, you grow together. So being in a romantic relationship, it requires a level of vulnerability, right? And that's hard for some people, and I get that. So choosing wisely is a smart way to go about creating a healthy romantic relationship. And I just want to take a minute to acknowledge the benefits that come along with having this kind of relationship versus having a rocky, volatile, chaotic romantic relationship. And I'll say, because research shows that by being in a long-term committed relationship, that is a healthy one, you're going to have these benefits. And I'm just going to read them out because I don't want to miss anything. But you have a longer lifespan, less experience of pain, more happiness, less depression, lowered risk of substance abuse, better heart health, stronger immune system, more resilient bodies, healthier nutrition, lower blood pressure, you heal faster, physically fit bodies, lower stress levels, you're better able to manage your stress. And let's not forget that you will have more success in your business and you will have more money in your bank account. Like I said, it's all connected. So let me share with you 6 ways that you can use right after this, if you want to create a healthy romantic relationship. Now, the first one, it's not a surprise. I hope it's not anyway, but it's to learn to love yourself. Self-love is, where it all starts. You can't possibly love and give yourself if you don't love yourself. And, if you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable being alone with yourself, then maybe it's time to do some deep healing and work with either a therapist or a wellness coach that specializes in relationships, to really, work at those old and new traumas and really create that space in your life for a healthy relationship. The other part of self-love is self-care. So it's taking after yourself. It's eating well. It's, drinking water. It's getting enough sunshine. It's all those things that we know that we should do, but we're not doing them for some reason. Morning and nightly routines. Those are where I always like to start with my clients, because it's something that's easy, but it's also amazing to visualize just how you want to wake up in the morning, how you want to end your day, and how can you make tomorrow even better. Learn how to say no, right? Learn how to say no and prioritize your needs. And when you've finally fallen in love with yourself, you're going to be able to attract that person. And visualize who that person is to you. I've done this, and I think that's how I attracted the relationship in my life at the moment. Not to get too ahead of myself, but it's important to really know yourself and know what you want in a life partner as well. But it always starts with loving yourself first. So the second thing you can do is establish healthy boundaries and honor them. So we've all had a situation where we've said yes when we really wanted to say no. Am I right? Give me some hearts or comment if you've been there. And when it comes to healthy relationships, the best policy is really to be honest and truthful to yourself. From major issues like sexual consent to minor issues like what's your favorite ice cream or what's your favorite flower, right? I know I mentioned mine a few days ago. Just express what you want and don't feel that you have to hide anything, because if you do, that's not healthy. That's really not healthy. Establishing healthy boundaries requires you to know yourself pretty well. And that's why the first step of my success system is all about self-discovery. It's all about knowing your values, knowing how, looking at your journey. How did you get here? What are your preferences? What are your interests? All of this stuff. It's really important because your values, it's a topic for another conversation, but your values are really important to you finding your happiness and creating that wealth in your life. And when you have healthy boundaries, you don't get yanked around in relationships, right? And your self-esteem stays strong, you stay strong, and you stay vibrant, right? So the other thing is learn to communicate in healthy ways. That's number 3. I love my pen too. Okay, so learn to communicate in healthy ways. So everyone loses their temper sometimes, right? Everyone gets impatient. I get it. I've been there. We're human. But the majority of the time, it's best to learn how to communicate from a positive perspective. So it's not about name calling. It's not about pointing fingers. It's really about having a discussion, right? Be willing to be truthful and honest about how you're feeling, and listen to what the other person is saying to you. I remember this back from my corporate days when we were talking about emotional intelligence, but it's like active listening. If you're already thinking about what you're going to say while the other person's talking, you're already not listening. You're not actively listening. So it takes a lot of practice, but try it. I've heard the other day that we've lost the art of debate. And, it's not about being right or wrong. It's really about trying to come to a common ground and express yourself in a true and honest way so that you can find that common ground and you can find some compromise and then move forward. If you've come into the conversation and you've been upset, or you've lost your temper, then, own up to it and just say, you know what, I'm sorry, I lost my temper. Let's do this again. And just try again, start fresh. Walk away, start fresh, right? But good communication is really the foundation of any relationship. Number 4, be positive and have fun. Like, get silly, make crazy lists that you want to do. Like, finish, like, try to see like your bucket list and see which ones you want to do together. But you know, I know we all know that one person who has that partner that they always complain about, right? Don't be that person. Who wants to be that in that kind of relationship? I know it's so much easier said than done. I know it. I've been there. Trust me. But healthy relationships are all about, you know, positive support and mutual respect. And it is about being silly sometimes. Like the other day, we were talking about getting a basketball and like going to shoot our game of 21, or like going to play mini golf, or just be water guns, like just silliness, but fun, right? Adulthood doesn't have to be boring. Like just add some spice, make it fun, and it's good for your relationship. But you know, have some fun together regularly, and also have some fun apart. But it's fun to have fun together as well. Number 5, so we're almost done here, but number 5, engage in healthy touch and admiration. So, you know, sexual expression is an important part of any healthy relationship, and you should always be working to a better sexual relationship together. That said, non-sexual touch is also so important and is worth incorporating into your relationship. You know, research shows that when you hug and you snuggle and, you know, you gently touch one another frequently, like you're happier overall. I mean, we're human. We crave that human touch. And, you know, romantic partners is an amazing way to get that and to really share that type of intimacy with someone. So don't be afraid to intentionally create a relationship that has these values, these kinds of, you know, healthy behaviors. So last but not least, number 6, embrace growth and value it versus comfort. So what do I mean by that? You know, I work with people who, just like me, love their personal development. They invest in themselves. They read a lot. They go to seminars. They're always constantly striving to improve themselves, to be better than the day they were yesterday. And you know, when sometimes in relationships we can grow apart, or we can outgrow somebody, and it can happen either on your end or on the other person's end. However it happens, it just can happen, and you kind of have to accept that. And I know it's easy to just stay in a relationship because it's comfortable. Trust me, I've done it. But when these growing pains happen in your relationship, you know, take the time to honestly talk to your partner about it. You don't want it to let it fester, and then you've gotten to a point of no return. Sometimes when you've chosen somebody who's on a similar path to you, it's easier to kind of find that common ground and continue. But sometimes those conversations are, you know, they lead to both people saying, you know what, I think it's better if we let each other go. And it's not going to be as smooth sailing as that, I can promise you, or maybe it will, but I hope it is. But it's really hard. But, you know, when you both realize that your own health and your own growth is important, and if it comes to that, then you just have to let one another go, and that's okay. So prioritize your health and well-being. Trust your intuition and lean into your growth. That's all I'm going to say about that. So just to recap, having a healthy romantic relationship is crucial to your wellness, to your overall well-being, to your wealth, and to your success. That's why we're talking about it. We're talking about it because it's all connected. the 6 ways to create a healthy romantic relationship. 1, love yourself. 2, create boundaries and honor those boundaries. 3, communicate in healthy ways. 4, be positive and have fun. 5, engage in healthy touch and admiration. 6, embrace growth and value it over comfort. So that's it for today. If you did get value from the video, like, comment, or share. And if you haven't done so already, come and join my group, Life Strategist with Nat for the Entrepreneurial Women. I'll throw a link somewhere around this video. I'd love to have you there. We're all about improving our wellness, wealth, and life fulfillment using holistic and business strategies. So on that note, have a happy Valentine's Day on Friday, and thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye.